Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Dead by Daylight concept video. Now, as you can see, this is Fnaf related. Now, recently, it was Fnaf's 12th anniversary, and I wanted to do one like this anyway. So today we're going to be doing The Band, as I called them. It will be all 4 of the original Fnaf members. For anyone who's been here before, I'm sure you all know how this works by now. We go over their stats, ability, 3 perks, 2 iridescent items, and anything extra I come up with. Let's get right into it. Now for stats. Speed-wise, everybody will be 4.6 except for Freddy. Freddy will be a 4.4 due to reasons we would get into later. He'll have a speed boost most of the time due to his ability anyway. Terror radius, 32 meters. Height, tall. I don't get why Springtrap is labeled as average, even though he's taller than Wraith, who is labeled tall. He's nearly as tall as... He's taller than Nemesis if you count the ears, and shorter, and very slightly shorter if you don't. So yeah, the animatronics are tall. I don't get what the criteria is. If anybody knows in the comments, please tell me, because it pisses me off. Now, on to the ability. Dear Lord, let's begin. So, stick with me, this is a long one. Around the trial, there are several security cameras. The number would be map dependent, because, you know, Dead by Daylight maps are either very small or very huge, with like barely any in between. But when the trial starts, all 4 animatronics will start on a small stage together, and each one is controlled individually. To swap between animatronics, you press the secondary power button to access the camera system, and select an animatronic within your line of sight. Pressing the power button again will allow you to control the selected animatronic, much like Singularity's pods. Each animatronic has a separate power meter and usage meter. Your power meter would last for 3 minutes, uninterrupted, assuming you didn't use any individual animatronic abilities. You can't run out of power while carrying a survivor, or while within 20 meters of a survivor who is hooked. Additionally, if an animatronic runs out of power, they deactivate for 80 seconds, and you are automatically sent back to the camera system. Additionally, each animatronic has their own individual power that's sort of like a mini killer power. And to read those out is SF Iron Fred 24 and his girlfriend. I can't speak today.
For Freddy, upon pressing the power button, you enter shutdown. During shutdown, you gain undetectable and 10% haste. But you cannot attack during shutdown. Additionally, you gain 15% usage, meaning your power drains 15% faster. For Bonnie, upon pressing the power button, you enter stock mode. When in stock mode, you gain 10% usage. If a survivor sees you stock mode ends, that survivor screams and you can see their aura for 10 seconds. Now babe, you start with Chica.
For Chica, when an interactable object, upon pressing the power button, you will set down Mr. Cupcake, and he will roam around the object in a 5-meter circle. If a survivor enters this radius, they will scream, revealing their location, and they will gain exposed for 10 seconds. And Mr. Cupcake will return to you, giving you 10% usage for as long as Mr. Cupcake remains active. For Foxy, upon pressing the power button, you jump forward. If you hit a survivor, you will pick them up instantly while gaining 100% usage.
Alright, we're good. We got those down. Yep.
I think the ability idea me and Fred came up with is pretty cool. It's definitely not something Behavior would do at all. And besides, if they do another FNAF rep, it's going to be the Mimic. None of you can understand how much I hate this character and his game in concept and execution. The Mimic is garbage. But on to perks. I called our first perk Equipment Failure. Now, what it does is that whenever a survivor takes damage, they earn 1 token up to 5, and for each token, chests are 4% slower to open, and item charges drain 4% faster, so you know, the charges on a toolbox, or the amount of charge a flashlight has left, stuff like that. Puppet Strings is a perk that uses Compromised. I wanted to use Compromised because, after some research, there are only 2 perks that use Compromised. Both of which I use, by the way. Rate my build in the comments. So what Puppet Strings does is that whenever you damage a generator, that generator becomes compromised. When that generator is completed by survivors, you can see the aura of all survivors within 32 meters of the completed generator for 10 seconds. And all survivors within 32 meters of the completed generator gain exposed for 10 seconds. Now, might that be a tad overpowered? Yes. Is the game extremely survivor-sided? Also yes. Do I give a fuck about either of these things? No, not really. Follow Me is probably a very underpowered perk, but I really like the concept of it. When a survivor moves closer to you while within your terror radius, their aura is revealed and they gain 8% haste as long as they move towards you. Once they start moving away from you, they gain 5% hindered for 5 seconds. Oh, and you don't see their aura when they're moving away from you. That's all for perks. I made some very interesting ones, you know? All a bit weird, but this whole concept is weird overall, so on to the iridescent items. Now, the Fredbear plush basically turns the animatronics into what I think Behavior would do if they were to ever approach a concept of a multiple character thing, where the ability itself is just having the multiple bodies and the multiple characters. Basically, the Fredbear plush strips down the characters, removing their individual abilities and the camera system, basically allows the animatronics to be the cameras themselves, and you can swap between them on demand. I'm fairly confident that Behavior has either played around with this concept and thought of it before scrapping it, or would consider it for a character down the line. I wanted to include the box since we never technically learned what's in it. And it's one of the most important items in all of Fnaf, at least the classic era. But ignoring that, when pressing the main power button, instead of using an animatronic's individual power, you take the power meter from all inactive animatronics into your current animatronic. Meanwhile, all inactive animatronics go into a low power mode, wandering around as 4.2 meters a second speed AI that can only put survivors down to the injured state. So they can only hurt healthier survivors, kind of like a decently stronger version of Nemesis' zombies. I don't know, this one just seems fun, you know? The iridescent add-ons are really where I threw all balancing out the window. The perks I've been trying to get better at making. Iridescent add-ons, I'm doing purely for fun. By the way, if they open the box in any of the books, could you please tell me? I haven't read any of the FNAF books. If they open the box and it's like canon, or hell, even non-canon answers, please tell me. This has been haunting me since FNAF 4 first came out, please. For extras, I actually have quite a lot to talk about this time, because, well, it's 4 characters. But one, I think it would be very fun if on the FNAF map, their spawn area is actually the stage that they start on. Like, the stage they start on is the stage of the map, and they replace those animatronics. I think that'd be really just funny, overall. And honestly, for costumes, you could have any set of the original 4. The toy animatronics, the nightmares, the withered animatronics. Really, you could have any set of 4. Hell, it'd even be cool if you could mix and match each of them. As for the Mori, I genuinely think all of them should have the same Mori, but the Mori would always be the jump scare. And it would literally scare the survivors to death. And that's about it for this video. The usual stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, comment again. Tell me, you know, what you think of the concept. Maybe give me other character suggestions to make videos about, you know. Oh, go check out the 2 previous concept videos I made. Yoshikage Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and The Master from Buffy are both in the playlist, linked down below. So if you like this one, go check out those ones. I don't know, share this video with friends, I guess. Trying to get to 500 subscribers, get this shit monetized, you know? But, cue the outro.